No.
Hey, good morning, Olivia. What would you do if your child stopped eating? Valerie Foster's daughter struggled with anorexia and it's threatened her life. Valerie shares her riveting and inspiring story in a new book called Dancing with a Demon. And this weekend, you can meet Valerie and her daughter. Valerie is here this morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I should also mention that Valerie is my aunt, and Jenna, who is the subject of this book, is my cousin. So it's a very personal story. And this battle with anorexia happened in the late 90s, and I saw Jenna go through this, but reading this, it's really from your perspective, which is just so much I never knew about this. And talk about why you decided to write a mother's perspective on anorexia.
Well, when I was going through this myself, that perspective wasn't out there. There were plenty of books by therapists and by those suffering with it, but I needed a mom story. I needed a mom's manual, sort of, and I really was looking for someone who shared my voice and my perspective. So this really is unique that way. It really speaks to parents and families, because this affects an entire family, and Jenna's journal entries are embedded in that. So you really get both voices, which is very unique. It
is unique. I mean, the format of this book, it goes back and forth. As we look at the picture of you and baby Jenna there, and here's Jenna, and we should say, I mean, I cried several times reading this book. But knowing that there is a happy ending and that she's doing okay right now. But how personal for her to share her own journal entries, her own diary entries from this time in her life.
Well, I wrote the book, took me 5 years, and I wrote in secret. And when I finally told her I'd written it, she was so healthy that she said, well, you're welcome to my journal entries if that would help. So you really get greater insight. And that's the other reason for the book, to write it, is to offer hope. Because this is a devastating illness, and it does affect the whole family, and it has the highest mortality rate of any mental illness, and yet there is hope, and sometimes that's all we have. And so I needed to tell a story that is uplifting and full of hope for others.
And I'm so glad you did. And you were saying, even though this happened, you know, in the late 90s, you feel like this is even more relevant now. Why?
Well, in my research, I have found that, well, first of all, the statistics are not good. It is increasing terribly for all people, all ages, genders, young girls, little boys, believe it or not, male athletes, the elderly, because a lot of times they lose their appetite, they're depressed, they develop eating disorders, older women. It's not relegated to just teenage girls. And with social media, unfortunately now they have a secret, dark outlet to join groups, chat rooms, and basically share more strategies on how to lose more weight. So it's really a very, very serious issue right now that we don't always know about.
Yeah, and I didn't realize, I mean, there's just so much mystery in anorexia. So here we go. This is where Valerie and your daughter Jenna will be at Changing Hands Bookstore. That's going to be this Sunday at 3 o'clock, and you and Jenna will both be speaking.
We'll both be speaking. She lives in New York now, and she'll be coming in for that this weekend, and we're excited to meet people and to share our uplifting story, actually.
Well, thank you for doing that. Thank you for being here. Thank you for writing this, and most of all, thank you for offering hope.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks, April.